Hello traders, Rich here and welcome to Kucoin as episode 25, and today we are going to go over a detailed XRP analysis. As usual, if you don't know about Kucoin, it's one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world with over 700 billion traded volume on the platform and 10 million registered users from more than 200 different countries. Kucoin has many features like margin trading, spot trading, mining pools, staking, lending, and many more with over 700 listed coins. If you don't have an account yet, I'll make sure to attach my referral link in the description below. And if you create an account through it, you'll benefit from 20% discounts on your trading fees. So let's get started. And as usual, cheers. As we clearly see, XRP chart is very clean. I usually use this example in my coaching sessions because it's very clean. And we've got a resistance zone here. We've got multiple rejections from it. It's a very clean resistance and support area. And currently, since price is below it, broke below the support previously, now acting as a resistance zone. So for the bulls to take over from a long-term perspective, and this is a weekly chart, we'll need to see a weekly candle close above the 0.6. In this case, the bulls would take over from a long-term perspective and we'll be expecting a bullish movement, just like, for example, this weekly candle, an aggressive break above the 0.6. Meanwhile, 0.6, 0.55 is acting as a resistance zone, and as you can see previously, price rejected it, and we are currently trading lower. So if we trade lower, we've got a minor demand zone here, because the last previous 2 weeks we had an aggressive movement up from it. We also broke above this last major high, so we might have a retest and then the bulls would take over again. If we retest it, it would also be a demand and a support and resistance as well. You can see that 0.25, 0.3 is also a very clean support and resistance. So we've got two possible scenarios. The first one is waiting for a break above the 0.6 to buy long term, or wait for the retest around this area 0.33 to 0.2 to look for buy stops on lower time frames. If you zoom into daily time frame, that's basically the view that I showed you from weekly. That's our last major high. We broke above it. We are currently in this retest, so impulse, right? So we were bearish previously, and then we stuck inside the range, which is an early alert that the bulls might be taking over if we break the range upward, which happened. We broke it upward. We have a minor demand zone here as I showed you from weekly time frame. So on this retest, we'll be speculating another bullish impulse movement, making a higher high. So an impulse correction and an impulse resulting in a higher high. And next, if we see that this impulse break above 0.6, in this case, it would become an overextended impulse, resulting in a shift in momentum from a long-term perspective. But for now, shift in momentum is only from a short-term perspective, so we might trade higher, right? Make a higher high and then trade lower again. So as price approaches the 0.6, if we enter a buy here, we'll be closing our buy in profit around the 0.6, and then we'll monitor price action. If we break it upward, we'll be adding our buy again, or if we reject it, we'll be adding our buy around the support zone. Now let's zoom into lower time frame. I can't really add much from H4, but we can see that the bears took over here after breaking below this major low. We have a classic retest and we are currently trading lower, so we might trade lower to form a lower low and a lower high before the bulls take over again. So it would be an overextended correction, or the correction might end here. But of course, we don't buy blindly. We always zoom into lower time frames and look for buy setups. So that's it. We have the channel previously broken upward. Now we are retesting this channel. And yes, as mentioned from H4, we might still trade lower inside this channel before we break it upward, or we might break it upward from here. That's why we wait for the bulls to take over, no matter how strong as support, no matter if you are bullish and so on. Always wait for extra confirmation. So that's basically the same logic that we covered here. We'll be waiting, for example, for a new swing high. It might be here. It might form a new one like this before breaking upward. So when a new high is broken upward, this, or give me a minute, here we go, this or even lower, will be then considering buying XRP. Our targets would be around 0.55 to 0.6. Meanwhile, and until the bulls take over by breaking above the upper trend line red and the last major swing high, which is about to be formed, or might be this, and so on. So you got the idea, right? Meanwhile, with be bearish and XRP can still trade lower and lower, and if we break the zone downward, in this case further movement low will be expected to the 0.3, where we'll be looking for setups around the lower support zone from weekly time frame. But for now, let's take it step by step. We are bullish from daily, broke above the last major high, which is here. We are currently retesting it. That's why we'll be looking for trend following setups. That's it for XRP. Best of luck, and I'll see you in the next one.